guys, welcome to Asherenga channel. We're happy to be back once more, and thank you guys for watching our videos. Today we're going to talk about solar panels. Now this is very exciting for me because when we began to build this property, I said to my husband that I would want us to have a solar powered energy house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, because see, Africa is the land of the sun, and you might as well make the most of it. And not just that, because you know, in Africa, or let's say in Ghana, we always have these complaints of power failure every now and again.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It's much improved now, but
Yeah.
yes, it's not as bad as it used to be, depending on the area you live.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it wasn't something I wanted to experience per se, and obviously you want to have constant electricity all the time. So we thought it would be a good idea to have a solar system at least on the standby, just in case they have what they call, there's something they call it doomsol.
Doomsol, yeah. That again, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
It's much improved now. But yes, there was something called doomsol a few years ago, where a musician has made a song. I think Sarkodie made a song called Doomsol, because the electricity going off was horrendous. Now it has significantly improved over the past 4 years of the president's reign. But yes, Doomsol is definitely was a significant problem a few years ago.
Basically, doomsol means power failure, isn't it?
Yes, it literally means light off, but power failure. Yes.
Okay, light
doomsol. Actually, doomsol literally means off and on. Off and on. That's the literal translation. Doom means to turn off. Salt means to turn on. So turn off, turn on. That's the literal translation of it, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, we wanted to have a standby, solar system that will supply the house anytime that in case happens. Right, and I wanted Kingsley to design that for us because he is an electrical design engineer.
Yes,
he's very excellent at his job, and that will give me so much pride, comfort, and obviously I'll feel very kind of rest assured that the master is doing his great job.
Well,
in our property. So we researched quite a lot within, because we wanted to do that, and then we found out that there are two different solar systems.
In general,
which is one is the off-grid and the other one is the grid tie. And Ghana is coming up, and we have people that are experts in solar system. Yes, we've seen a few videos of them and their work and all that, so we contacted a few, and the reason we did that was because we wanted to know the cost of the systems,
of course,
if they would install that for us, and obviously we wanted to work according to our budget as well. And Kingsley will go through that with us. So guys, before I let Kingsley go through that with us, I wanted to say thank you guys for watching our videos, and for your likes, comments, and the questions you ask. They really help us to know what you want to see, and what we want to put out there as well. And it's a journey, and we're all doing it together, so thank you so much. And if this is your first time of watching this video or coming to our channel, please could you kindly subscribe to this channel, like, share, and click the notification button so that you know when we upload any video. In fact, we've got videos that will help you just in case you decide to build a property, and other videos as well. Let's see what comes up.
Exactly.
So Kingsley, are you ready to feed us all?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
So as Crystal said, this is all about solar panels, and most people know what solar panels are. They're panels made up of some unique material, let's say, and basically they convert the power of the sun, or the energy of the sun, or the light of the sun, if you like, into electricity for our use. Now, some people sometimes they get confused between solar panels and solar thermal. Now, we are referring to solar panels as the panels that generate electricity. There are some panels that are called solar thermal or solar hot water, and you can get ones that looks the same, but they've got tank on them. They generate hot water. In this video, we're going to focus on the solar panels that generate power, and power only. Okay, so as Crystal said, there are in general two different types of systems as a whole. You have the grid tie system and then the off-grid system. What does that mean? So a grid tie system basically means that your solar system, your PV panel, is tied to the grid, is connected to the grid, or is in parallel with the grid. Now, what that means generally is, if your PV panels generate more power than your house needs, yeah, then your house uses the power it needs, and then the rest goes back to the grid.
Okay.
So, for example, let's put some numbers to it. So, for example, if your house needs 10 kilowatts, and the PV panel is generating 15 kilowatts, your house will use the 10 kilowatts, and then the 5 kilowatts will go back to the grid.
Okay. Excuse me.
Yes.
So let's say for someone who hasn't heard about this grid thing and grid low, grid high.
What does it mean?
Grid.
Yeah.
What does it really mean?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
In simple terms,
yeah,
the grid, or the national grid, is the national electricity network.
Right.
So, for example, in the UK, we have, when you walk around your local area, you see UKPN substations. Maybe you've not noticed by a brick. There's transformers, and there are cables under the ground.
Right.
And the cables, if you look in our electricity, the cables that come up into your distribution board. In Ghana, the cables are typically in the air, because it's too hot in the ground.
Right.
So they've also got substations. So the grid is basically how the electricity is distributed in the land.
Right.
From where it is generated, because it's generated typically with coal and burning coal. Typically, I know there's wind farms and other things, but typically it's burning coal.
Here in the UK, you mean?
Here in the UK and in Ghana as well.
Ghana, so, okay.
Now, from the main primary substation, they have to distribute it to different areas, and it gets into different areas via cables that interconnect to each other. Right. So the interconnection of cables from the source of the power generation all the way to our homes is what is called a grid. Right. It's almost like a spider web. It's a grid. Okay. It's a grid. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's what we mean by the grid.
Okay. Did you get that?
Hope you did. Yes.
Yeah.
So as I said, the grid tie, in this example I gave, if the solar panel is generating, let's say, 15 kilowatts of power and your house only needs 10 kilowatts, your house will use this 10 kilowatts and the other 5 kilowatts will go back to the grid. Okay. Now, in the UK, if you had a grid type PV system, you get some financial incentives. So if your PV was generating enough power to satisfy your house loads, and you were giving the grid more power, you're getting power from the sun, you're giving them more power, because that they can use that power to something else.
Right.
So in the UK, there's a financial incentive. It's called the feed-in tariff.
Right.
So if you have a grid type PV panel in the UK, right, not only do you if you're using the sun to feed all your loads in your house, not only are you saving cost on the electricity bill, but you're also getting extra money because you're giving power to the grid.
Is that why almost every house is doing all that?
Well, not almost every house, but a few houses.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I've seen in our area quite a lot of houses are doing that.
Yeah, because there was a drive some time ago to get more people on green energy, and it's, in fact, not just some time ago. Even now, it's still there. Although the incentive in terms of how much they pay you for giving them power has sort of reduced a bit. Right. So that's grid tie for now. Yeah. Then the other system is called the off-grid system. Now, what off-grid means it's not connected to the grid. It's completely off-grid. So when you have your PV panels, they generate power to your house directly, and that is it. Okay, that is completely it. So we looked at both systems, and we got cost for both systems from different suppliers. But before I do that, let me go back more into the off-grid system. So the off-grid system that we were looking at was something that operated in what we call SBU mode, right? And SBU means solar battery utility.
Oh.
How?
I said, oh.
Oh, okay. So what do I mean by SBU? I'm going to put a diagram on your screen right now, guys. Okay, and this is a diagram that represents the SBU mode. What it means is that it's the functionality of it. So the default mode of power generated into my home is solar. Okay, solar. If for whatever reason it's a rainy day or it's a cloudy day and we're not getting enough sunlight, whatever it is, then the system will change from the solar to the battery.
Right.
The system has a battery, whether it's a lithium-ion battery or a deep cycle battery, has a battery. So if there's not enough power coming from the solar because it's a cloudy day, then the battery will take over and feed your home. Yeah.
Okay.
The battery always works during the night anyway because there's no sun. Yeah. Now, if for whatever reason there's not enough sun and the battery power has depleted, then you go to utility, which is the Ghana electricity.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So the priority is solar, battery, and then U for utility.
Right.
The utility being the last one because that's the most expensive one. You want to use the energy that is free from the sun.
From the sun.
Yes.
Yeah.
The energy from the sun is what is converted to electricity in the solar system, and that same electricity will charge the batteries during the day when the sun, and in the night time when there's no sun, the power from the battery will feed the home. Yes.
Wow.
If there's not enough power in the battery, for example, then it will switch over to the Ghana electricity.
Oh, so, that's really good.
Yes, that's pretty. The diagram explained that as well. Okay, so that's pretty good. So SBU, that's what we considered for the off-grid system. Obviously, utility being the least priority because that is the most expensive. So you want to stay away from the utility as much as possible. Yeah. Electricity is expensive in Ghana.
That's what you said.
That's what I'm told. I mean, I haven't got the right. It depends on what.
Is it going to be more expensive than it is in the UK?
I doubt it. It's relative, but it won't be. No, even the currency conversion will not even make it such a way. Right. So all of that sounded very good. The PV panel system, fantastic, right? But obviously, we had a bit of a shock when the prices came. Okay, so I'm going to go through the prices of each system. What we were looking for was a 10 kilowatt off-grid PV system. But obviously, initially we looked at the grid tie as well. So the first up is I'm going to show you on your screen is the grid tie system. And you can see all the components there. The grid tie system costs just over 74,000 Ghana cedis, which in pounds, probably, what is that? Guessing, maybe about £8,000, let's say. And probably about, if it's about £8,000, it's probably about $12,000, let's say. That's the grid tie system. This will be the cheapest. Grid tie is generally cheaper than the off-grid. Okay, but the issue in Ghana is...
Cheaper than the off-grid, okay.
Yeah, the issue in Ghana is that with the grid tie system, the Ghana electricity doesn't give you anything.
Oh, like here you get incentives.
Yeah.
Oh, why not then?
Because like you said, they're a developing nation, still developing to get there, and they're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
I heard from one of the manufacturers that they don't necessarily even allow the export meters. Now, what is an export meter? If you're going to do a grid tie system, then you need a meter that you can use to understand how much you are giving to the grid. Yes. Normally in electricity, when we say import, it means you're importing power from the grid. Like when power comes to our home, the power is imported from the grid. So when we say export, it means
the other way around.
The other way around, yes. But in order to understand how much you are exporting to the grid, so that if you're going to be paid,
you're kind of feeding them the energy.
Feeding them the energy, exactly. Right. In order to understand how much you're going to be paid if you're in the UK, you need to have a meter that can read both the import and the export. So you can check. Oh, I'm owed X amount. Then you can check. But in Ghana, apparently they don't use the export meters, and also the system is not set up in that sense.
Yeah.
So
it's developing,
it's developing. Yes. So when I looked at it, 74,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, I'm getting the benefit one with the grid tie system. If the solar panel system is generating more power than my house needs, yes, the excess is going to the grid, but I'm not getting anything for it. So that means I'm giving Ghana electricity. There you go, free electricity.
Yeah, because
and they're even charging another home to use that electricity.
Can you imagine?
So yeah.
So it wouldn't make sense, because if you work, you gotta get paid for what you work for, isn't it? It's like you're working and not getting paid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So on the contrary, if the grid tie system is producing power to your home that is less than what your house needs, right? Then it will reduce your electricity bills. So let me put some numbers to that. Let's say your house needs 10 kilowatts. So normally the Ghana electricity will give you 10 kilowatts and you pay 10 kilowatts worth of that. But if your grid tie PV system is generating you let's say 6 kilowatts, right? You're getting 6 kilowatts from the sun. That means you only need 4 kilowatts from Ghana electricity. So you're reducing your electricity bill in that sense.
In that sense, yeah.
Yes, yes. So it's tied to the grid. It works in parallel, if you like. Yes. So that is where it's good in that sense, advantageous. But you pay 74,000 Ghana cedis, let's say, from this supplier, and you only get half of the benefit. Because when you're exporting, as in when the power is giving you too much power than your house needs, you don't get any incentive at all from the Ghana electricity at all, you know, unlike you do here. So that sort of pay all that, paying all that kind of money and not getting the full benefit was like not too sure. Okay, so that's where we sort of paused with the grid tie system. So we then went to another different supplier. So that the spreadsheet I had on there, the invoice I had on there previously was from a company called Sun Power Innovations, which is a good company.
Yeah, I remember that company.
Yeah, well, I interviewed them a couple of months ago. So then I went to Deep Solar, who actually had extremely very good customer service. I have to say, I was really happy with Deep Solar in terms of their customer service. So if you guys are are interested, Deep Solar will be good as well. Or Sun Power, just there are other ones. Have a look. Anyway, we move on to the off-grid system, 10 kilowatt off-grid system. Now I'm showing on your screen the invoice or the cost we received from Deep Solar for a 10 kilowatt off-grid system. Okay, now this totaled 87,270 Ghana cedis, okay, which is approximately £11,000 and about $15,000 for my brothers and sisters across the pond. So again, not cheap, okay, not cheap, but we've explained to you what the off-grid means already. Now, Deep Solar, the invoice is on your screen. I'm going to go through each item. The first thing, it tells you the type of PV panel, and thankfully it said monocrystalline PV panels. Now there are different type of PV panels. There's the monocrystalline and the polycrystalline. Okay, the monocrystalline, which is what I would recommend, is the most efficient of the two. Okay, whereas the polycrystalline is less efficient and also heavier as well. Monocrystalline is lighter, so if it's heavier, then it becomes a management problem or more difficult for the guys raising it onto the roof, etc, etc. Okay, so that's what you can see. That's the first line you can see. Then you have deep cycle batteries, which are very good batteries, and they're good enough for domestic use. Okay, then you have the installation cost, and the installation was going to take, told us that would take about 1 or 2 days. Then obviously you have the materials. Materials would include the cables that will go into the conduit, the unit strap for mounting the PV panels, because you see, the PV panels in a home, the panels have to be in a certain orientation towards the sun, right? So they can maximize the energy from the sun and therefore maximize the amount of electricity that you can generate.
When you say different
certain orientation,
direction of the sun, like setting where the sun is rising or setting, or what?
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, we know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right? But there's a certain they've modeled a certain orientation of the PV panels, whether it's southeast or wherever it is, that can maximize the amount of energy that the solar panel can receive. Yeah, and it varies depending on where you are in the world.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, after in the southern hemisphere, the panels have to be a certain orientation. In the northern hemisphere, the panels have to be a certain orientation because the sun rises in different directions. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. When you're in Ghana, we're on the equator, so it's slightly different there as well. Okay. So, but the specialists know exactly what to do. And also, typically they raise. When the PV panels, they don't put it flat on the roof. Typically it's just raised at an angle a little bit, because that makes it a bit more efficient. Also, you know. So that's what they do in terms of the installation. But yes, pretty costly. Now, let's look at Sun Power Innovations. You have the invoice on your screen. This is also an off-grid. Sorry, yes, it's also an off-grid system, but it is almost double the cost. Okay, this Sun Power Innovations was 153,408 Ghana cedis, which is about £19,000, and about $27,000. So the question is, why was it so much more expensive than deep solar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they were using very high-spec equipment.
Oh, right.
It's, both companies were using quality equipment, good enough, But let's say SunPower Innovations is using, how can I compare it? I don't know, Rolls Royce, let's say, and Deep Solar is using Mercedes-Benz or Ford. Yeah.
Okay. Ford is good.
Ford is good.
Mercedes is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's all, But also, what was key? This is what is key, is that the SunPower Innovations, they were using lithium-ion batteries. Okay, lithium-ion batteries. Whereas Deep Solar were using the deep cycle batteries.
Okay, that's a bit technical for me.
That's a bit technical. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Now, what I'll do is what I'll say is that you don't necessarily need to have lithium-ion batteries, although they do have quite a few advantages, but you don't necessarily need to have them. But if you want me to do a more in-depth technical comparison between having the deep cycle batteries or the lithium-ion batteries, please drop it in the comments below, and I'll do another video that is a bit more technical for that.
For the technical minds.
Yes, for the technical minds. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's good to make an informed decision, because you don't want to pay $27,000, okay, when you don't necessarily need it. It has advantages, but are you going to really need all those advantages, or are those advantages really worthwhile in a domestic installation?
Yeah.
Maybe in a commercial installation it is. So therefore, do you really want to or need to pay $27,000 when you can pay $15,000 for deep cycle batteries? Yeah. So it's a $12,000 difference there. So to have understanding would make sense. Okay. So drop your comments below if you want that technical appraisal. So hopefully these 3 costs will help you make an informed decision yourself, which type of system to go for. Okay, so after having all those quotations back, time came to make a decision. Now, we are, I guess, where I deal with PV panels in my job from time to time. So in my job, we put PV panels there because it's part of the green agenda. Generating green electricity. Everybody wants green electricity, which is sustainable, so it makes sense. However, the reality is, and we need to realize this, that the PV panels are not that efficient. For example, a PV panel is probably about between 17 and 20% efficient if you're lucky. If you're lucky, which means if you definitely want a guarantee of 10 kilowatts, you can't really guarantee because you don't know whether it'll be a sunny day or cloudy day or rain, So if you want, and also if there's dirt on it over time, that also reduces the amount of electricity you can produce.
Really?
Yeah, there's so many other factors.
That is really interesting, because I thought that if you had that, you'll be getting light all the time, like the amount of light you need, power you need for the house, to run the house, to run everything.
Not necessarily.
Really?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. There are a number of factors. You need to make sure you're cleaning it, because if there's dirt, as it gets dirty, then it gets less and less efficient, as well. Again, the orientation and the angle of the mountain is also, it has an impact on this efficiency as well. That's why the specialists need to make sure they do that correctly, as well. But in any case, even if you get all the mounting and orientation perfect, the panel itself is probably only about 20% efficient.
Really?
Yeah, which means if you want a guarantee of 10 kilowatts and you want to then you probably need to put in a bit more than 10 kilowatts.
Right.
Maybe 15, 16 odd kilowatts or so more, because of the inefficiency of it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But that's just something to bear in mind. Now, also, if you are looking, you can look at the PV panels in 2 ways. One is an independent source of power, okay, which is great. You can get your power without relying on ground electricity, for example. Also, if you're looking at it for in terms of a financial investment, what is your return on investment? Then you need to realize that also you're going to wait a long time before you get your money back. Yeah. For example, if you were to go for this SunPower system that we showed you earlier on, and it cost about, let's round figures, £20,000. And because you've invested £20,000 on a solar PV array, right? Okay. Let's assume, this is a big assumption, let's assume that you are always going to get the power that you need from the sun to cater for your house loads. And because of that, the normal amount of money you pay for your electricity bill you don't have to pay. So let's say you used to pay £100 a month for your electricity bill. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying you pay £100 a month, but let's say you were paying £100 a month. It will take you £20,000 that you invested in the PV system divided by £100 a month. It will take you approximately 17 years before you make your money back, if that makes sense. Yeah, it means you've invested £20,000, okay, and it'll take 17 years, okay, before the PV panel begins to generate you profit. In other words, after the 17-year mark, when the PV panel is generating electricity, it is completely free. Because you've got your money back by the savings in the electricity bills. Does that make sense? Exactly. So it has we call that in engineering or building services that PV systems have a long payback period. Okay, but it's
worth it now, isn't it?
Yeah, depending on how you look at it. Depending on how you look at it, it can, again, it's all about priorities.
Yeah,
it's all about priorities.
Someone might want a quick turnover.
Yeah,
and somebody might want to. Yeah, may not really bother.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all about personal choice and preference. I'm just putting the facts out there. Put the facts out there. People can make their own informed choice. We've made our choice, which we're coming to soon. Now, for us, when we understood all of this, looked at all the numbers, we asked our family members in Ghana. But most importantly, we asked our neighbours who were living in the surrounding areas and have lived there for many, many years, what is the electricity supply like? Is it stable or unstable? And what the majority of people said was, in the past 4 years that's I guess one good thing that they said the president of Ghana has done. I don't live there, so I can't say anything else. But they say that he has really stabled the electricity supply. So
that's good.
Yeah. So the electricity supply in Ghana is pretty stable, depending on where you live, obviously. As with most things, the more affluent the area, the less the power failure, So that's just how it goes in this world, I guess. So it goes.
That's gonna come to an end.
We hope so. We hope so. So it still does go off, but not as much as it used to. Yeah. So the doomsaw is not really sang that much anymore. Yeah. And also when it goes off, sometimes it's just one phase, Okay. But we'll go into the phases in a bit detail a little bit later on. So with that knowledge, we ask ourselves the question: do we really want to spend £20,000 on a PV panel, or can we live without and use the money elsewhere, like your garden, or I don't know?
Yeah, we discussed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we had to say goodbye to that, at least for now, but we made provisions for it just in case we change our mind in the near future.
Yeah, exactly. Just that, guys. We decided to look for some alternatives.
Yeah.
But as Crystal said, we made provision. And what I mean by that provision is that we've installed an electrical pipe or electrical conduit from the electrical room on the ground floor all the way to the roof, so that in the future, if we decided to go ahead and install a massive PV panel system, we could do it without interrupting the house structure or the walls or anything like that. Yeah, no chiseling required because the pipe is already in there. Okay, so that's one thing to make yourself aware of. Not just the pipe, but also normally in electrical terms, you put a nylon rope in it so that when you put the cables, you can draw the cables through as well. But that's for those who are a bit more technically minded to understand that. So we decided to be future-proofed based on the fact that the electricity in Ghana and in that area in particular, so check your area out, has been very stable over the past 4 years. And when it goes out, just tends to be a phase or so.
That was some good news,
Yeah,
I
really,
do like that.
Really, really good news.
Yeah.
But considering that you want to have something as backup, we do have some further backup, but much cheaper. Okay, we bought ourselves a standby generator. Okay, which cost about £400. You can get them cheaper. You can get a standby generator for £150, £200. Okay, so it depends on your choice. But we also have a power station. Okay, there's a picture coming up on your screen of our power station. Okay, and also a link to it as well, where you can purchase it if you like. This power station is awesome. Okay, the power station, you charge it from the mains. okay, but you can also charge it from PV panels. It comes, you can buy an accessory, and it comes with its own, like, if you like, miniature PV panels. So you're still getting your PV panels, okay, miniature PV panels that we can charge it in the sun in Ghana or wherever, okay, and it costs £2,000. Okay, the power station, as you can see on your screen, it can power your phones, your laptops, your fridges, no issue, for at least a couple of days. Yeah, so if Dumso happened for 2 days, which I've not heard of very recently, the worst I've heard of is probably about 4 hours. Yeah, but if it happened in 2 days, we'll still be okay, because we'd have a power station.
Yeah,
we'd have
backup plan.
Exactly, that's plan C.
Yeah.
If it happened that we didn't have any fuel in our generator, we'd go straight to the power station and be okay for 2 days.
Yeah.
So the key there is, guys, so we have spent there £2,400 on a standby generator and a power station instead of £20,000.
That's brilliant. That's a good deal. That's a good bargain.
On a PV
I
panel.
like that.
Exactly.
Exactly. That was really smart.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I get some brownie points. So you know, but I know you were quite interested in the electrical design of the building, especially the phases. Yeah. Yes,
I was, because number one, your profession, I see what you do overseas when you work for other people, and your electrical designs and everything you do, they are quite thrilling for me, because it's not my my field. So what you do is really, really great.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to bring that to our house.
Yeah.
You know, because that will give me the confidence, you know, and I feel very safe as well. And here in the UK, our home, you've done one or two things to the...
Yeah, of course. Yes. A few alterations here and there, but
yeah, for the safety.
For the safety in particular, yes.
Yes, I wanted
RCDs
that
and the rest,
duplicated or interpreted in Ghana, in Ghana as well.
Exactly.
And there's this thing about, you talked about phase 1, 2, 3 of light.
Yeah,
because you said that if there was power off in phase 1 or 2, that we could have lighting. I'm like, because we don't have anything like that
in the UK.
So what's that about?
Fantastic. Yeah. So in the UK, guys, most of your homes, if you look at your electricity cupboard, if you understand electricity, you have a single phase coming in. Okay, obviously electricity in the UK is stable. There's no issue. I think we've lived in our home here since 2007, so that's 14 years. It's 14 years, and we've never had a power cut. Actually, we had it once.
We had once. We went on holiday. Remember?
No, we were here.
No, because John told us we went on holiday.
Oh, in fact, twice then. So twice in 14 years,
Yeah.
And there was one day happened. I think about 3 hours, and we put in an insurance claim, and we got about 200 quid for it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not getting that insurance in Ghana. So. So in any case, so in the UK there's a single phase coming in, which is very stable, as you know. In Ghana, because obviously, if you like, it not being so reliable, what I did and what most people do in their homes, especially if you're building a double-decker house, is they bring three phases into the house: L1, L2, L3. They're called. Okay, and the basic design is if one phase goes down, then you still have 2/3 of the house with electricity, let's say. But I made a tweak to that design, if you like, optimize the design, so that I arranged the electrical design in such a way that even if you lost one phase, the entire house still had power. If you lost 2 phases, the entire house still had power. You only had complete power off if you lost all 3 phases, and which tends to be a maintenance event that the Ghana electricity are doing.
Yeah. If they did that, we'll still have a backup line, won't we?
Backup, power station.
Power station,
of course,
working for us.
Absolutely, we have a power station, we have a standby generator. Yeah, and also there's some little sort of mini, let's call them UPSs, uninterruptible power supplies. You can buy for fridges. You plug it in. You plug your fridge into that before you plug it into the wall. And if there's a power failure, you can keep your fridge going for half an hour. Or an hour.
That's
it depends.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it depends. So again, cheaper alternatives to achieve the same goal, on the basis that the electricity system in Ghana has become more stable than it was 5 or 6 years ago.
I think
the Doomsaw was around.
Yeah, I think. Sorry.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
I think that because I just want to know if you'd like to show our viewers what the picture of the standby generator, what it looks like. Would you want to do that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there are various different standby generators. Okay, it's a couple coming up on your screen. This is the one we bought on your screen right now. So guys, so really that is what the three phases is about in Ghana. So that was our decision, really, on the basis of the sheer cost of this PV panel. It's a great idea, it's a great feature, but the cost is really horrendous. And hopefully, as you know, hopefully in the future it will become more cheaper, and then we will be in a position to expend that money. And I always look for value for money. What is my cost benefit? If I'm spending X amount, I need to understand what the benefit is in order to make sure the money is being used wisely. Yeah, to get the most out of it. If I can live without, then I can live without, and I can use it somewhere else. Maybe in the security installation of the building, or in our garden, on our farm, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Or landscaping.
Landscaping, exactly. Landscaping, which is obviously going to cost a bit as well. You know.
You never know.
We never know, but looking at your aspirations, yes, it probably will cost, really. You know. So, any last few words for our subscribers?
Hi guys, honestly, I'm really having fun watching the property. You know, I'm building, develop. I can't wait to go home. Everything is working out perfectly, and it's all because we made that choice, we made that decision to relocate.
Yeah.
A few challenges here and there.
Yeah.
But just don't get put off. The thing is, I've been away from Africa for a very long time. Obviously, Kingsley was born here. He's been back and forth, but obviously we come from different backgrounds, different experiences for both of us.
Yeah.
And it could be quite daunting. It could be very scary.
Yeah.
But we have this mindset that we're going to get out there and make it. We're not going to expect everything to be like it is here for us here in the UK. Obviously, there'll be, you know, there'll be things that kind of be strange to us, and we have to make sure that we kind of adapt to the system, try to understand the people. It's a different culture for me altogether. I'll try my best, do my best to interact with the people.
Assimilate, yeah, exactly,
yeah. Learn the culture, speak the language. Kingsley doesn't speak the language to me. We communicate.
You pick it up, yeah.
Hopefully I'll pick it up. You know, get to know the people, love the people, accept the people, because you're going there, I'm going there to be one of them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And not something different. Yeah. So it's all about being humble, show them what you have, and they show you what you have, what they have, and you can just share ideas together and work together, and then make Africa home again. In everything, I'm really grateful to the Most High for what He's doing for us. It's a dream come true for me. Yeah. I just can't wait to get on the plane and then find myself back on. I'm really grateful for what Kingsley is doing as well. So I know that he works, because he has his 9-to-5 job here, and he's also doing that. It's a lot of work for him to do, a lot of commitment as well. So, and packing is a lot we're doing at the moment.
Packing,
yeah,
exactly.
So we'll share
that in
the near future.
Exactly, yeah.
So just go out there, have that mindset that you will make it, and we definitely will make it, because Africa is ours to possess. Okay.
Fantastic. Exactly. Ours to possess.
Yes.
Exactly. So we hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and make an informed choice for yourself whether to get solar panels or not, as the case may be. But make an informed choice for yourself. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button so that you get more videos from Asher and Gad as we upload them on a weekly basis. Alright, thank you very much. Well, it's a wrap, and it's from you.
Okay, Messia.
Take care, guys. See you next time.